Thank you for joining Operation Pinball in this episode of Unboxing the Beatles Diamond. You're going to need wire cutters, a box cutter, and a 5/8 wrench. Don't forget your moving blankets as well. These three tools are all you need, and the box cutter is optional. Start by removing the green straps holding the pallet to the pinball machine. Then remove the pallet gently using your moving blanket. To preserve the box, especially in a game such as this, there's a nice easy way to open this without damaging the box itself. Just push your hand between the staples gently without scratching your hand across the staples. This can be done in 4 different spots along the top of the box. The staples pop up, the box lid lifts up, and you've preserved your box perfectly for a later repacking or for those high-end collectors that like to keep all the packing material. This technique allows you to save the box perfectly, then just reach in and remove all of the staples so you don't hurt yourself during the rest of the unpacking. Once they're all out, make sure you throw those away. Elevate the flaps of the box and you'll notice that there's 4 large pieces of foam securing the pinball machine in the box. Those can come out. In this particular situation, we like to preserve the box. Make sure the truck side of the box is facing out. If you wanted to remove the machine by cutting the box, you would want to use the box cutter and cut along this edge. If you peer inside, looking down, you can actually see the separation of the machine to the box itself. This is a safe area to cut, but make sure you peek in. This is also the location of the legs. The box is probably too heavy to tip by yourself, so have someone help you. Putting one hand on the front and one hand on the back, you can slowly tip this forward in a team lift fashion, going nice and slow, supporting the front of the machine, bending with the knees, kneel down, and both set the machine on the ground gently. Perfect. Push the machine back and get ready to pull it out. Remove the legs, which are secured in 2 small boxes on either side. Set those aside for now, and we'll come back to those in a minute. We're now ready to pull the machine out of the box. This usually requires 2 people. Using the green packing strap is a safe area to pull. Don't pull from the shooter knob or the coin door. The other person can support the box while you pull it out. It is possible to do this with 1 person, but not as easy. Gently lift up just the back of the machine, the box can slide out, and you've preserved all your packing material. Then placing one hand under the front of the machine and the other under the back box, you can gently lift up and put the machine back on its end. This allows a proper angle to install the front 2 legs. The legs are kept in these boxes and each are wrapped individually in plastic. Remove the plastic bags, which we also like to save for later. Get ready to mount the legs on the machine. The bolts are actually already on the machine. Those need to be taken out and set to the side. We're not going to use nylon bolts in this installation because this new machine comes with its own washers. Place the leg over the machine, being very careful not to scratch the leg with the bolt. Gently insert the bolt and then hand thread the bolt into the box. This prevents cross-threading. Then being very careful, use a wrench and tighten down the legs. You don't need to tighten as hard as you can, they just need to be 2 to 3 finger tight. Then lower the front end back down to the ground, resting the front end of the machine on its front 2 legs. We like to use a bar stool height chair. To lift the back of the machine, place the bar stool under the back of the machine, and then you're ready to mount the rear legs in the same fashion. Again, 2 to 3 finger tight. And be careful that you don't cross-thread your leg bolts when you're putting them on. Cross-threading occurs when the bolt's not lined up with the threads. So just be careful that you can tell that the thread is actually properly mounted. Now we'll cut off this last bit of green packing strap. Make sure you don't cut this until this particular point. Remove all the cardboard packing material. Now inspect inside the back of the game. There's usually several cords which can be adjusted as the game goes in. Sometimes there's something sticking through this, so you just want to make a quick inspection. Lift up the back box and remove the packing foam. And as you lift it forward, be sure to check that cabling, that it's seated and going nicely down into its allowed slot. Continually check this without pinching your fingers until the back box nicely seats square on the cabinet. Remove the rest of the packing material. The keys are located on the shooter knob. These are almost always held with a zip tie, and that can be snipped. There's 2 sets of keys and a small reminder not to pull the game on the shooter knob. One set of keys will open the front door, while the second set of keys opens the back box up above. Immediately take the second set of keys and hang them inside the coin door so that you don't lose them. There's a small hook. Pull the pin on the top of the coin box and gently lift the coin box out without scratching up the machine. Set the coin box down, slide the lid off, and you'll find some more contents inside. This first packet is a cord for a bill acceptor. Most people won't use that. This particular packet has pinballs, the back box bolts, and the tilt bob. In this particular installation, we're not going to use the supplied balls, and we'll be using our own. First we'll unwrap the power cord, and again we like to save all the packing materials. Next we'll unwrap the back box bolts, which you can easily tell by feeling the outer portion of the package. Those get inserted into these holes in the back of the cabinet, fixing the back box to the cabinet so that it doesn't flop forward when you move the machine. These bolts can be tightened gently down into place. Now we're going to reassemble the packing contents that was removed from the coin box. Removing the tilt bob, which is a triangular lead weight, and setting that aside for momentary installation. The supplied pinballs we're not going to use for our machine. We tend to buy higher end balls. Replace the coin box back into the machine and re-secure it with the locking pin through the protruding loop. There are 2 latches inside the cabinet that hold down this lockdown bar. Reach in, flip up those latches, and the lockdown bar will easily be removed. Set that aside on something soft. We like to close the coin door before removing the glass. This prevents any scratches on the glass. Slide the glass down, and then just touching the sides, set the glass upright aside again on something soft. Do not set this pinball glass on a hard surface, especially concrete or tile. Always make sure there's a towel or something soft between it. Now let's lift the playfield up and out of the cabinet. Lifting straight up under the apron at this level, you'll notice that there are some rails underneath the playfield. These slide forward and then hook on to the lockdown bar mechanism, just like that. Now take both hands, grasp the rails in your left and right hand, pulling straight back, keeping the playfield totally perpendicular to the cabinet. You'll feel a click, the playfield will slide forward and lock. Then rotate up towards the back box, keeping the relationship totally perpendicular, and rest it gently on the back box. Now you have access to the inside of the machine. Install the tilt bob by sliding the metal filament down through the lead weight and turning the screw on the bottom of the triangular lead weight. This adjusts up and down to adjust your tilt. There's the goodie bag. Don't get into the goodie bag. It preserves the value of your machine. Those are spare parts that nobody ever uses. Lower the playfield back down. Again, maintaining your perpendicular motion. Don't scratch the inside of the machine with the playfield. Lift the back of the playfield up with your other hand until you slide over that original click. Once you're over that original click, then push forward and very carefully lower the playfield back down into the cabinet. Now it's time to insert the new pinballs into the machine. Remove the oily coating that comes on them standard from the factory with a clean, dry cloth. Then gently and manually insert them into the machine. Each machine takes a different number of balls. There's a label on the front right portion of the lockdown bar mechanism you can see in this picture. Plug in the machine both into the wall and into the back of the back box. Turn on the machine with a switch under the right portion of the back box. Sometimes it takes a minute to come up, so don't panic. Now we get to sit back and enjoy the machine. Let's take a little tour. This particular machine, which is a very well-known high-end machine, came out of the box as a gorgeous piece of art. The graphics on the sides, the silver, metallic, hard candy, metal flake armor, and the mirrored back glass make this diamond edition Beatles absolutely stunning. This particular machine is number 89 of 100 machines made worldwide. Well, we hope you enjoyed watching the unboxing of this Beatles Diamond. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.